So Nathan Wade is speaking publicly for the first time since he stepped down as special prosecutor in the Trump Rico case in Georgia. Now, he sat down for an interview with Linsey Davis from ABC, who we're waiting for that full interview. But we have a snippet here, and there's a little bit that we can talk about. So one of the main staple quotes is,
"Workplace romances are as American as apple pie. It happens to everyone. But it happened to the two of us."
Do you regret it?
I regret that private matter became the focal point of this very important prosecution. This is a very important case. I hate that my personal life has begun to overshadow the true issues in the case.
And let's pause there for a second. Let me know what you think so far about, we got two main things going on here, right? You know, he wishes that this personal thing didn't overshadow the case. That's what he regrets. And he also says that, hey, this workplace romance thing that's as American as apple pie happens to everybody, but it happened to us. Those are the two things that we've gotten so far. What do you make of that?
Some point, once that bond is there, and if democracy is on the line, as has been described, do you say, maybe we pause this until after the case is over?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll concede that could have been an approach. But there again, when you are in the middle of it, these feelings are developing, and you get to a point to where the feelings are so strong that, you start to want to do things that really are none of the public's concern.
Wade and Willis have...
And that's really it for the preview. But this third answer that Nathan Wade gives, he's speaking pretty generally to me. What do you guys think? It's very, when this happens, there's a lot of feelings. It's almost like he doesn't come out and directly say, my feelings for Fani were very strong. Or, I really wanted to be with Fani and I wasn't thinking about anything else. Kind of makes a general statement without explicitly attaching himself to feelings for Fani. So that's just how I interpreted that answer. It was a little bit lawyerly, I guess. What do you guys think, though? Because everybody can see different details and hear different details and have a different perspective. There was also another teaser video posted this morning.
Nathan Wade had a lot to get off of his chest. After spending 865 days on this consequential prosecution of Donald Trump, he was forced to resign after a judge wrote a scathing opinion that an odor of mendacity remained.
They pulled the odor of mendacity line back to the front. And that's crazy to think of that number, that over 800 days, just for it to end this way.
Regarding his romantic relationship with the district attorney that was made public. In this wide-ranging interview, we talk about a number of things, including what Wade does and does not regret.
I want people to know the real me.
For the first time since leaving the case, Nathan Wade is speaking out about his relationship with DA Fani Willis, which forced his resignation from one of the most high-profile legal battles in U.S. history.
Workplace romances are as American as apple pie. It happens to everyone. But it happened to the two of us.
Do you regret
that thing?
Did he just call it that thing? Was he saying something else, or did he call it, the relationship, that thing? What?
I regret that private matter became the focal point of this very important prosecution. This is a very important case. I hate that my personal life has begun to overshadow the true issues in the case.
A Washington Post columnist wrote, "What were they thinking? How could two seasoned attorneys embroiled in the prosecution of a former president start a romance and not see this trouble coming a mile away?" And so what were you thinking in that moment?
Again, you don't plan to develop feelings. You don't plan to fall in love. You don't plan to have some relationship in the workplace.
To me, that all sounds like it's inevitable. I couldn't help it either way. He's putting feelings at the forefront as if feelings have the accountability, feelings have the free will, feelings have the agency, separately from the person who has the feelings. That's how I'm taking this. What about you?
Place that you don't set out to do that, and those things develop organically. They develop over time. And the minute we had that sobering moment, we discontinued it.
So hold on, wait a minute.
Develop organically. They develop over time. And the minute we had that sobering moment, we discontinued it.
The minute we had that sobering moment, we discontinued it. So is he saying that that's why they broke up? And what does that mean about when they broke up? Because during testimony, when either of them was on the stand, Fani and Nathan, they kind of disagreed on when it ended. But now in this interview, he's saying, we had that sobering moment. After he just talks about the realization that they should have known better than fall into this relationship with the positions that they were in. He says, we had that sobering moment, and we ended it. That's interesting to me, personally.
Nearly 1 month after news of their relationship broke, neither prosecutor acknowledged it publicly.
So for 25 days, we didn't hear from you or District Attorney Willis, your public servant, right? Getting paid from the state of Georgia. Why not say, okay, we'll make a statement, we'll get on top of this?
Let me say this. My conversation here with you today, it's just that it's Nathan's conversation. I do not speak for the district attorney's office. I do not speak for their position. As a matter of fact, I'm certain that they would rather me not be having this exchange with you. So with that, I want to continually protect the integrity of this prosecution. I don't want to say or do anything that would jeopardize this case.
The judge required Wade to withdraw if Willis wanted to stay on the case, and ultimately determined that while Georgia law does not permit the finding of an actual conflict for simply making bad choices, Wade and Willis's actions showed a tremendous lapse in judgment and created a significant appearance of impropriety.
Do you think that you've done any kind of damage to this case?
None at all.
Even the public perception of it?
There again, this takes me back to the initial statement that I made. My private life became the focal point of the case. And my private life has nothing to do with the merits of that prosecution.
But one aspect Wade says he wasn't prepared for was the intense public scrutiny and harassment he says he's faced.
So you didn't realize when you took the case, your life was really going to be under a microscope?
I did not realize that my life would be in danger. The microscope, I don't have a problem with. The truth is, if the worst that you could find was the fact that I had a relationship with someone, or that I happen to be going through a divorce, that's okay.
Hold on. To me, that's a very vague way to characterize that you were happening to go with a divorce that you initiated like the day after you got the special prosecutor appointment. But people also uncovered what was going on in Cobb County with your work product that you're getting paid $550 an hour for, and all your work product you said was in your brain. You didn't have like documents or anything like that. And you're investigating a jail where people were dying in their cells, and you're getting paid $550 to do it. And people started to find out because the spotlight was on you for this. You didn't have any work product of the work you did. That's saying like, oh, people found out about my personal relationship and that I happen to be going through a divorce is a very cop-out way to answer this question. That's my opinion, but I just think it's a very cop-out answer.
That's okay. I have nothing to hide.
And some of the attacks have come from the former president himself.
Is there any part of you that regrets that you gave him any aspect to say, oh, you have to question the credibility of this case because of the relationship between Fani Willis and Nathan Wade?
So,
how would you have answered this question, by the way?
While I will concede, Ms. Davis, that the relationship did not happen in ideal timing, I don't think that anything that occurred during the course of the relationship should cause question as it would relate to the sufficiency of the indictment, as it would relate to any of the evidence that was uncovered and may or may not be presented at trial.
And then Linsey goes on to say there's no trial date set, and then we get this last little bit.
There's going to be that day of reckoning where a Fulton County jury there in Fulton County, Georgia, would have to make that decision.
Now, one thing Wade says he does regret is the impact this scandal has had on his adult children. He wants people to know he was separated at the time of the relationship with Fani Willis and that he has total confidence in the prosecution in this case against Trump moving forward. A lot to unpack here, and we do.
And a lot more coming up on Live.
On ABC News Live Prime tonight.
Great. Thanks.
So we'll tune in, guys. Maybe we'll get together a live stream and react to that video and go through it. I think it's supposed to be 7 Eastern is when it's going to air. So look out for something like that. Just hit the bell button below if you want to just get a ping if I go live or upload a reaction to it. But what are your thoughts on the interview snippet so far? Nathan Wade seems confident that the day of reckoning is coming, that, he regrets that it impacted his adult children, but doesn't feel like it impacted the case in any way, shape, or form, his personal dealings. And then why do you think he's sitting down to do this interview? Is it to clear his own name? Is it to help rehabilitate the case itself? Is it to help rehabilitate the public perception of Fani, because Fani is the other side of this, but she didn't have to step down. She was the other player in this relationship. Why do you think this interview is taking place? And do you think this interview is working? Do you feel like whatever his goal is, do you think it's moving the needle in the right direction? Moving it in the wrong direction? Not really moving it at all? The floor is totally yours. Let me know below and tune in. If you don't already follow, hit the subscribe button and that bell, and tune in tonight when we go over the full-length interview. You guys all take care. Links to both these articles will be in the description. Bye-bye.